Hi, Neil. Welcome back to the greatest podcast in Web3, Voice of the Degens. I'm your host, RickeyTru. And I'm looking forward to a great episode. Got my guy Mark in here. Got Roller Girl in here. We're getting the day started. I want to talk about the topics. First, I want to talk about a few things just going on with the project. So, as you know, we have a token, and we don't promote it very much. We just want people to catch on slowly but surely. We might have a few partnerships coming up. And, there's some talking in the background. You guys will probably see some things added to the token soon because I've been getting reached out to a lot about doing theme songs for a few more projects. And I always told you guys I had a breakdown where I wanted to give back to the community, but my community who got in early and understood my vision and what I'm trying to do with Web3 and just bringing another culture to Web2 that they don't understand yet in Web2. We've got some interest out there, and I'll be updating you guys on the main Telegram. If you're catching this at another platform, make sure to follow the Telegram. I'm sure it's somewhere in something you're reading as you're getting the information of what you're watching or what you're listening to right now. That said, we also want to invite all the artists. We're going to bridge, but not the way people think we're going to bridge. We're going to bridge into Web 2 via Web3, and we'll find a lot of support and a way to onboard people. And I don't have all the details for you guys yet, but just be on the lookout. Season 2 is going to be crazy. We're at episode 7, and we got, 3 more after this, 4 in total, including today. And I have some crazy giveaways for the end of the season. We'll take about 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back with season 2. And season 2 is going to be incredible just as well, and we'll be incorporating a lot of new things, a lot of new just different topics. There's other sections, another format of how to do things. But tonight, let's talk about it. Episode 7. We're going to talk about the ethics of shitcoin investing. Dope topic. Get all your friends in here. We're going to talk about topic 2, how to deal with toxic people in the workplace. 3, overcoming imposter syndrome in the music industry. Topic 4, overcoming fear of failure in creative pursuits. And our last topic, building reputation for digital assets, describing how one can create a strong reputation online in the digital asset space and beyond. So there's going to be a lot of game given out today. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Keep us in your thoughts. Make sure that you catch us every week. Catch the previous episodes. There's good game in everything we've been doing, and I really appreciate the culture and the people in the culture that come and participate every day with us. It's a blessing. We're gonna go break into a little music break. You know how we do, right around this time, and we'll be right back with topic 1, which is the ethics of shitcoin investing, and I'm sure we'll have a couple people want to weigh in on that topic. We'll be right back. I'm your host with the most, your modern day smokesman, RickeyTru. And you're listening to the voice of the Degens.
Yeah. PTI 30. Yeah. I got the hustle and flow. You already know, I got a cast on my hand. I act like I'm broke. My mama friends hating on me cause I treat her like gold. They got a lot to say, but tell them bitches they old. Now tell your son to keep up. I see your daughter a bum. Fuck up his re-up, that shit look like crumbs. I mean, honey, I made it. You know I came from the slums. If you call me anything, you better call me the one. I mean, I'm sick of this shit. All this flameless shit. I give my mama some money. I tell my mama get lit. She deserve that shit. She don't work no shift. Y'all all mad at me cause I earn my shit. I twist me a blunt up, then I burn that shit. If it's something I don't know, then I learn that shit. You got a big ass mouth, you know I heard that shit. Now I'm throwing fastballs, I won't curve that shit. I said whoop that trick. 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 Hey, look, I got bitches like my dad had. I roll pimpin' on my dad hat. Stop paying attention if you that mad. Michael Jackson with the glove, bitch, I'm that bad. Yeah, I'm that bad. Yeah, y'all big mad. I got that sauce like a Big Mac. Y'all better big bag before I go big rat. Yeah, I did that. You don't with that. Yeah, paper chasing, big bag. I'm from that block like a 6 Ave. Big drip, bitch slash. Yeah, bitch, now I'ma really brag. I said whoop that trick. I said whoop that trick. Yeah, I said whoop that trick. Yeah, I said whoop that trick. Yeah, now you big man.
All right, now we back at it. Voice of the Degens. So let's talk about it. Topic 1. The ethics of shitcoin investing. This is going to be a damn good topic. I see I got my guy Taz in the building. I got Face in the building. We got a nice little team tonight. Feel free, weigh in. I'll start it off. The ethics of shitcoin investing. There are no ethics. Let's start there. When you say borderless, you kind of say no rules. This is the Wild Wild West, but it's the Wild Wild World. www.com. Yeah, that's where we're at with it. There are no ethics. No one's held accountable. We talked about it last week. No one's held accountable for rugging. So no one's held accountable for selling. There should be ethics. And as the coin becomes not so much of a shit coin, if it does make it out the dirt, you got to remember there's 1,000 of these popping up a day, right? And 85% of those are gonna rug. They're scams. And I've yet to see some of the players we've seen get tackled by any alphabet cop. I haven't seen it. RIP, I saw somebody else just passed away, somebody from some like crypto X something, but it wasn't the Degen crypto X. We kecked about that in the background. There are no ethics. I know a guy, I won't say his name. Well, I can say his name, but I'm not going to say his name. Everybody knows him. He'll hold your project for ransom. He's serious about it. He doesn't want to see you get off the ground. I mean, he just wants money. But then again, that's the space we're in. Everybody just wants money. So with everyone just wanting money, how much ethics can you add into the equation and it still be fair? That the game would still be fair? It wouldn't be. And you know that. And I know that. But it's just not something that people care to talk about because we be talking about it every day. Shout out Darkshot. Hey, Mark, come in and weigh in.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it matters too, though, on what type of shitcoin it is and what the situation is. on how you should sell off. You know what I mean? Like
as
every
an investor.
situation's different. Yeah. Like I don't know if it if you're gonna wreck the chart completely, it's probably better for you to sell off in smaller increments and hope for maybe some support buys and then just keep dumping, as opposed to just saying, fuck it, I'm out and selling your whole bag at once. Yeah, you destroy the chart, but that number isn't exactly what you're gonna get because your
And
pricing back.
it also gives the space a black eye. I mean, when you sell off like that, I mean, after you see so many projects and people doing that, um, it creates a stigma. Wouldn't I mean, your thoughts on that?
No, you're right, but that's what I mean by it depends on the situation. Like if you're shitcoining and it's still kind of pumping, it's probably better for you to sell off in smaller increments than it is to just dump your whole bag. But then if everyone's like, if you already know it's going to shit, I get it. People just say, okay, fuck it, I'll take whatever I can get. And that's kind of what I mean by it matters on the situation.
Righteous. I think some contract is going to get written. Maybe it already exists, where it kind of incorporates ethics into things. Somebody, like, if somebody thought enough to get a sniper bot, somebody thought enough to say, how can I shake them apart? And I've seen projects where, and it's looked down on. That's the crazy part. I've seen projects where you can only buy this much, you can only sell this much, cooldown periods, and all kinds of madness. But I don't see them go like far and staying far, which I don't think that happens in this space. Um, if you see a really big peak, just expect a fall similar to it coming soon. And it may grow over the next 2 weeks, but it's gonna have a crash eventually. And if you're gonna get out, like Mark said, if you're gonna get out, you're better off selling small portions so you can evaluate what the chart's doing. There may be people who are waiting to buy on any red they see. So if you sell off, let's say you sell off, you know, 0.25% of a bag. I mean, of your max, you might have your max wallet might be, I don't know, 2%. Say you sell off, you break it down into quarters, so you got 8 shots at it, and you can sell off because somebody might buy on the top of you, and they might buy more than what you sold off on. I think that's where you were going with it, Mark. Is that fair?
Yeah, man, bang on.
Right. So, oh, roller girl, come on, get in here.
Hey, Ricky. I was going to say, is there anything really ethical about us all trying to sell each other nothing in the meme
Great question.
token? Because
Great question.
essentially that's what we're doing. Comes up with a funny name, no utility, no real reason for it to be there, and we all throw our money at it and then hope we 100x off of it. So is it
Called
ethical
turn
to sell people nothing?
called selling real estate. Selling thin air is real estate. It's really nothing there. But people still, jump at it. It's the thrill of it all. It's why it's all a casino. My nephew's been telling me for ages, yo, this isn't, man, you're not doing crypto, man, you're gambling. And he makes sure to send me all the articles he sees about crypto in general. And he just sent me one the other day where the guy said if we knew who was behind Bitcoin, it would go to zero. We hear this kind of crazy madness all the time. But we love this shit. I feel like I get more of the world. I think all the shit coins I've been rugged in, the the knowledge I got along the way, maybe not even from the people rugging me, but the knowledge I got along the way was worth every penny. I learned more about money than I ever have by losing money. Come on, Darkshire, holler at me.
Yo, uh, I just wanted to speak on that because I feel like when people hear about crypto and they think of scam, they're like, oh, Shiba Inu or Bitcoin. And people in the space, I feel like we know Bitcoin's gonna has been here forever and will be here. But when they have their eyes on these meme coins, like we know, I feel that those are just vehicles to get the coins that have been pretty stable and slowly going like up over the next few years. So I feel like people are just hyper focusing on, shit coins being actual things that are going to be here for, 10 years, which some of them might, but most of them, like, it's just a vehicle to get more ETH. That's why they're ERC20 coins, like being like BP20 coins. Like, there's a gambling side to it, but then, if you don't want to take that risk, there's also things like Bitcoin and ETH. You can DCA, and there's projects that have been around for years that haven't really moved. LP still unlocked. Like, it's very decentralized. It's on exchanges. Like, I think there's a little bit for everybody. But when people start to focus on, oh, shitcoins, I'm always losing money, crypto's a scam, they're just looking at the tiny little, you know, view of the whole thing.
Do you
So
think
I think
that?
that
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that just gives it a bad name when people either kind of what I see when I talk to normies about crypto, it's either oh Shiba Inu like type stuff. Oh, I got in this coin that was like Inu something and I lost all my money, or they're like oh Bitcoin. I've heard of that, but they don't know the thousands of other coins that are around here that they're making utilities for. Like I just feel anything that you want in this space, whether you want to risk some money, gamble a little bit, or if you want to be a smart investor or whatever, there's that for you, like in the space. But for someone to, think that all shitcoins are, a gateway to go from $40 to $100,000, that's not good to look at it like that either. So
Facts. Facts. I posed the question like to people. I'm like, have you heard of Grimace? They never heard of Grimace. Say
yeah, is that
Grimace
like
came and win on us.
I hear that all the time. Oh, is that like Bitcoin? No, it's kind of more like whatever. Oh, is that like Shiba Inu? It's like
Right.
they're all their own thing. So
Righteous. Bandy, shoot it at us.
What's up?
What is going on, brother?
Shit, man. They all started as Degens,
I feel you
Like
100%.
BTC, everyone was like 1000x below what it's at. I mean, they all started way below what they're at. So you can't just hate on where they're at. You gotta look at what they're about and where they're going.
So will we ever see another hype? Like, or I mean, a coin make it like a XRP started off as a shitter. Bitcoin started as a shitter, right? Will we have something? I wouldn't say as big as ETH, big as Bitcoin, but like, will we have another 100,000x something that someone bought 10,000 to buy a pizza, and now that 10,000 that pizza in retrospect is what, $30 million or something?
I think I think we're just
Exactly.
so I think we're just so accelerated right now where you have something like Bitcoin that I had like earning for free on games and like getting it, on Coinbase app when there was 3 coins and what that was like 2015, 8 years ago. So it took that long to what like 20x now from there, or like 20 maybe 2050x, and then you look at something like Shiba or Pepe. Pepe's the most extreme example. It goes from like millions to billions, like in 2 weeks. So we're kind of like on a weird hyper like version of crypto now. I feel where you could sit on the investment in years you could get 1000x, but then you've also got those really extreme cases.
Right. Bandy, you wanted to shoot something on top of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's always like that right before the big bull run. I mean, we always got those projects building up right before and just really just building for that huge 10,000x, 100,000x.
Is there enough money in circulation to get there? is what I always ask. Like, at some point, doesn't this all shit just all caps out, and then we're all in a digital phase? Because we're already going into the digital phase of money. The digital phase of assets.
Well, I mean, Pepe started at 4,000 market cap, hit over $1 billion. A lot of these other coins did as well, you know. I mean, Ape coin, top 100 coin, started as really low. I mean, all kinds of them have started really low. That's just kind of how you start out. I mean, you know what I mean.
Definitely, definitely. Zach, Zay Killer.
What's
Talk
going
to.
on, Ricky?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
Good. So to add to your shitcoin talk here, you know, I have to give it to Ricky because I followed this guy. I was about 2 to 3 months behind him when we first met, and I kind of followed his lead, and then I kind of just went off on my own, and then we reconnected back after a couple of years. But we both been down the rabbit hole and came out a gopher hole. You know, like the thing is whether or not it has utility or not, or it's an actual shitcoin, like it's all about getting people into the hype mechanics behind it. Whether you have utility, that means nothing because what are the top like 3, 4 utilities everybody's got? Oh, we're gonna have a marketplace. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have that. Everybody's got the same thing, but I mean, look, I think in order to get into shitcoins, you have to have sub shitcoins. And whether you have one utility to 10 utilities, are any of those like what's coming back to the project? Are the devs actually paying themselves? I think that's really important to look at. That if you're going to be in a shitcoin, whether it's 1% back to the dev, look, if they went to $1 billion, well, good for that dev. Good for that dev. That means he's going to get paid for just making a shitcoin. But then at the same time, you know, what happens after that? Because they've gotten so big, do they now start developing because they have the marketing funds to do so? A lot of people don't ever get to that point where they're like, well, unfortunately, we didn't think this was going to go past 40,000 market cap. And now we're at $1 billion. So now they have to develop something, and it's more work than they signed up for. Whereas nowadays, I think at least in the last couple of years, especially during this bull run, we've all been sitting there watching people drop out like flies, wondering, okay, what happened to them? Where'd they go? And the next thing you look at is how people are building. There's so many projects out there right now that when that bull run hits, you only need a couple dollars in there, and it won't even be a shit coin. You probably won't see that 100,000x or anything like that, but you're going to see residual income, and that's important. I need to
Just
see a product or a service that you're providing to be a part of it. Like I like to see things that maybe they've already spent time building, and whether it be a shitcoin or not, like you said, we're all Degens. Whether we like it or not, we're in this. Anybody that's in crypto is a degen. That's just what type of degen are you?
Righteous.
And if you can survive taking the risk,
And if you
like
can
put,
survive.
that's the biggest
That's
thing.
right.
If you're here for years, you're a winner, bro. You're over 90%. Like you're beating over 90% of the people that have been in crypto. Like if
No,
you're
I posed this question. I posed this question because what Roller Girl said earlier, and she said that they're basically making this shit out of thin air. And the only thing you need to start a shit coin is money. So if money and it's not a lot of money, you can start with $25 in a market in a liquidity, right? If that's the case, at what point does Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and everybody else's cola is on the shelf with such a saturation because because it doesn't take anything to make the product? And now we're playing lottery scratch tickets. Which one's gonna win? And we'll give up the big win for a small monetary gain today to do it all again with the next cola. At what point does the grocery store become overfilled? If that analogy works for anyone.
I
Well,
think it's
first of
more
all, I think marketing
pineapple
questions need to go somewhere else. So I don't think we're going to get into that. But um, when when the grocery stores start filling up, I mean, we all see what happened up in Canada, right, with the trucks. and the
Right.
non-distribution. I think we're on a precipice of that actually being real for most people around the world. The price of groceries are going up. I shop at Aldi. All right, I don't know where if anybody else goes there, but even our local grocery store, the prices have gone up in 2 years dramatically. Dramatically. I
Big
used to buy
time.
a can of ravioli for 68 cents. It's 92 cents now.
Shit, $1.92.
Yep.
Let me get Dark Shot in there. Dark Shot was about to attack that.
I think it's more maybe, if the grocery store isn't working for everybody, maybe make like a new grocery store. Because if you look at just the way that crypto is in blockchain technology, it's like you can see how this is applied more to just currency, which is what everybody's focus is on. Like it's you can just file things better. Like you can track things better. You can validate things through websites, like validate your memberships. Do like so much with the technology, but I feel so many people are focused on like the coins that have always been here, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, instead of being like, there's a new way of doing things because there's all these copier coins like you knew this, you knew that. Like, what about the stuff that hasn't been done that you can do with like this technology that we
Yeah.
have? Like, which is like it hasn't even been like scratched, like the surface has not been scratched on what you can do for healthcare with it, like what you can do for the financial industry, like um, just everything in the world can just be kept track of and done.
Exactly. Anything, anywhere, dude. Anything, any charity, any organization, anywhere.
Well,
Like
it's
that can
the
help it grow.
it's the decentralization of like the world, because like everything right now goes to these through banks, like approving transactions, like everybody, overlooking everything that you're doing. But, you know, we live in a world where on crypto we can send like information cheaper and faster and anywhere in the world, like with blockchain technology. Um, so like that's how people have to look at it because even just looking at only crypto, you can send like $50,000 to someone in 2 seconds without anybody like it's gonna
Really
go.
knowing.
There's well, not just knowing, but like if you try to do that with your bank at 12 a.m. from Spain and you're sending your money to Canada, they're gonna block that shit. You know what I mean? Like the blockchain makes it so that you can do that anytime, like anywhere, and you can make sure that it got to that person's wallet, and like it's a truly decentralized way, and like that's how the people take their power back is like making everything blockchain, um, based so that people can like live in a centralized world and not have to like rely on the huge elites and like the banks and all these huge companies like approving transactions in the real world.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
Ricky, think
Well,
about like when you're saying the grocery thing, and even what Dark Shot said. Um, if we're going to become decentralized, let's say, use the grocery store thing as different niches. So if we get different grocery stores that are going to be a little bit more specialized to those, or like a neighborhood grocery store, let's say of um, all whites versus all Chinese versus, like I don't know how to cook Chinese food. I barely know how to cook a hot dog on a grill. Okay, so my grocery store is going to be a convenience store. But then when it comes to the money transfer, look, I mean, Ricky, look what we did with money. You know, he
right.
came in, you brought
Right.
him in, and it happened. It was like, all right, step aside, and it was done. There's nobody looking over our shoulders. There might be, but
Facts.
you know, I get a new
They ain't
wallet,
called
it's
nobody.
gone the next day.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I enjoyed this topic. I'm starting to think about doing like a late maybe on like Wednesdays to like go in depth in certain topics, like really give good expose into one topic for a good hour or so. Be looking forward to that. That's one of the things I've been thinking about for season 2. But we're gonna get into our next topic. We're gonna have a little quick song break, get our lives together, and we'll be right back with topic 2, how to deal with toxic people in the workplace. I'm your host with the most.
Once upon a time, not long ago.
My nigga Delta in them pots.
What? Somebody tell the mother guy stop hiding, come outside and I'ma slide up with that thing. I guarantee somebody dying. I'm on fire right now. Cousin just hit my line and told me that the homie died right now. Huh? Nigga, what you mean? I got my fire right now. Well, if you really with this shit, then we can ride right now. All black, strapped down, swinging where they hanging at. Find out where his baby mama stay, that's why I bring it at. On west side, I'm tripping. Since when we started playing that, now or never the mission. And Kater came with a drum attached. Give him the whole 100 pack. Jump out and let that thunder clap. Hacking at his family tree just like a lumberjack. Expect it cause it come with that. Respect it where they running from. Little nigga, get a gun. I'll show you how to get it done. Firm believer in second chances, but I ain't giving them niggas none. Firm believer in second chances, but I ain't giving them niggas none. Tell the mother guy stop hiding, come outside and I'ma slide up with that thing. I guarantee somebody died. I'm on fire right now. I'm on fire right now. Somebody tell the mother guy stop hiding, come outside and I'ma slide up with that thing. I guarantee somebody died. I'm on fire right now. I'm on fire right now. What is it? Fourth quarter, fourth down and long, they run the prevent. I'm thinking graveyard, throwing bullets at your defense. Homeboy, your homebody, talking all that street shit till he met TLC. That's the one I creep with. Sleep with the 40 under the pillow on some G shit. Your baby mama sucking while I'm driving on some freak shit. How about with this jackrabbit, shooting like a pair of dice? Put him under the ladder, it's bad luck if I spare his life. Then buckshot should jump ya. Ain't no such thing as a fair fight. Get sniped like Wesley. I like my bitches Nestle. Pussy so wet I can backflip on a jet ski. Sparks out of the Cater ball harder than Lisa Leslie. Tell the mother guy stop hiding, come outside and I'ma slide up with that thing. I guarantee somebody died. I'm on fire right now. I'm on fire right now. Somebody tell the mother guy stop hiding, come outside and I'ma slide up with that thing. I guarantee somebody died. I'm on fire right now. I'm on fire right now.
Alright, we back. Voice of the Degens. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru. We're going into topic 2. It was a great topic. Topic 1. Going into topic 2, how to deal with toxic people in the workplace. Because I kind of deal with it. Doesn't matter what industry you in. I tend to deal with people who have microaggressions, people who have micro insults. Even this thing we in Web3, like I work IRL and then I work Web3, and just how I got to deal with people is like totally different than in both spaces. I have to deal with people in accordingly in both spaces, and sometimes it mixes. And a lot of times I take what I've learned. Like I said, I don't care how much money I've lost with shitcoins. I've learned so much of how to deal with people, how to let things go, how to not let people get over on me, how to be. I'm like 6'7". I don't run into too many problems when I run into problems, and I tend to I'm able to defuse situations before they get out of hand, as someone would say. You know, I don't let things get out of hand. When we deal with people, though, being this big, I can't just always jump at people and lash out. I have to be very conscious of how big I am and how I don't want, even if I'm trying to convey a message to someone, I don't want them to feel intimidated. But it's really, really hard to do. I find myself tested a lot with things that I've never been tested with, and I think you only get tested with them as you in the workplace, as you're building yourself up in your workplace. It's no different. My job's no different than anybody else's IRL job. Maybe because I'm in a union, so maybe a little different, but actually a lot different. But being in a union, people can be toxic and they can be like downright rude, and their job's never, in jeopardy. Whereas where if someone called you out of your name at your job, there'd be possibly a chance that they might not be employed tomorrow. I'm looking to ask you guys, what are some of the better ways to deal with it? Because my ways aren't always the best, and I don't think anyone should listen to me on the topic. Because I'm like, hey, nip the shit in the bud. The way I look at it is, we're in a circle, and inside of that circle, one sec, and inside of that circle, it's like the middle of the basketball court. How people can run around in that circle. I'm a firm believer in just cut a person off right when they get close to the circle. Like they're running around the circle, just cut them off. Just cut them off. Always bring it right to their face. But it's not always the way to be in the workplace, no matter what your workplace may be. I've had guys in Web3 not pay me for my services. I've had guys in the real world not pay me for my services. In Web3, it's not so easy. I mean, I could go pay a hacker to give me your information, go find you, spend way more money on trying to track you down than actually getting my money and or cutting my losses. But in the real world, works a little different. You say something to the wrong employee, they might be waiting by your car after work. They might put sugar in your gas tank. I don't know. And I'm an asshole. I'm a Degen. So I just want to hear some of y'all thoughts on how y'all deal with toxic people in y'all workplace. Talk to me, Zach.
Well, as you know, we're the same age. I definitely come up to you and be like, how the fuck and what is going on? And you're like, well, first of all, I have no idea what you're talking about, Zach. So give me a little heads up. And I'll just put it like this. Ricky's got a little bit more life experience than I do in the IRL, if you will. And I've definitely gone to him and said, what do you think about this? And about a 1-minute explanation. I'm like, oh, good thinking. That's why it's important to have different perspective. So whether it's in the real world or on Web3, Web2, whatever, in this Telegram. I mean, Telegram itself is just toxic. Discord is toxic. All these social medias, we all know that they're toxic in itself. So when you run into someone, my theory is always, I'm still learning. I don't know everything. And if I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. But I'll argue till the death if I'm not. Now, with that being said, to take a step back away from the arguing is to learn what other people's perspective are. Because I think that's more important, is to know I can take a step in someone else's shoes, even if they're size 17 for a 6'7" dude. When I first met Money and Ricky, I met a guy that was 6'7", 6'8". These guys are huge. I'm 5'10". They got a whole foot on me. They're big dudes. Didn't matter because we could talk things out like gentlemen. I went down to meet his good bud, met him, and then you know what? I've been friends with Ricky ever since. But to get rid of the toxic people in a space such as this, you just got to walk away almost. It's the best thing to do is just walk away from it. But then in the IRL, shit, you know what? People don't like confrontation no matter what. So when you're confronted with something, best way to deal is head on and be calm. Sometimes you just need to fist the cuffs, and that is the best way to settle it. I don't condone that, but it handles.
It's one way to look at it. Talk to me, roller girl.
I probably don't handle it the best way, but as a female in this space, I think we get shit on extra. So the way I handle it is very harshly, more harshly than I probably would in real life. And eventually people know, just oh, probably shouldn't mess with that person. But I'm not sure if that's the best way to deal with it. But if you're a female in this space and you don't handle things harshly, you will get eaten alive. I don't know if it's the same experience for a male. What do you think?
Men are sensitive, and in this day and age, I'm sorry to say, yeah, it's gonna go web 2 like a motherfucker. This might be the viral one. Um, Men have become more sensitive than women in my experience. And some people will try to track it to demographics, ethnic backgrounds, and the way you're raised and your spiritual background. But I don't have to buy into any of that. What I really believe is that um, this might go viral. I believe that forces beyond men, which every man is raised by a woman. So, like, your dad might have been a hard ass, but your mom protected you for the most part. My situation, not so much. But I'm pretty rough around the edges, and I still am man enough to say, hey, I'm sensitive. I've had guys insult me in this space, where I took a whole day to just be pissed off in real life. Like, it touched me like that. I wasn't
Really?
expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. Because I'm so used to IRL where people can't just get at me like that. You can't just walk up to me and say something crazy. It probably not be in your best interest. But in this thing we call Web3, he's he gets to be who he wants to be. And the power in that takes away the power of me being who I actually am. So it did bother me. I had to get some tough skin. I think women probably deal with it from a different perspective. Men get mad because you don't want to sleep with them or you don't want to send them foot pics. And then they're still pricks at the end of the day. So they don't know how to deal with women. But
They
that's just my.
also get mad if you're intelligent.
Oh, yeah. It's hard for men to listen to women. Bear with me on this one. It stems from women haven't had power for long. So it's hard to trust something that who hasn't harnessed power as long as men have. I see it every day. And I'm even guilty of the stigma because not every woman is more intelligent than a man. But in some situations, you're going to deal with women who are actually, they got it cutting, they got it honest. And we respect them more once we find that out. Or it doesn't even have to be intelligence. I know women who work harder than men. I'll
For
leave the floor.
sure. I deal with it very ruthlessly and I feel no remorse. Um, but that isn't how I started out in this space. It just developed into that over time. The space is very toxic.
So how do you deal with, since you can deal with the toxicity in this space in what we call our workplace, is it easier in IRL to handle it, or do you find yourself being just as toxic as you have to be in Web3?
I find that what I've learned in Web3 has definitely helped me in real life. I'm not as much of a pushover, or I don't be quite as rude as I am in Web3, but in Web3, as a female, you get some pretty crazy rude things said to you. So I don't know if it's a good strategy to say something back twice as rude, but seems to get the message across in this space anyways. But I don't know. I don't know if I like it, but it just seems a way to deal with it.
I believe if you take both sides, like if you take a little bit of your IRL and bring it into Web3, if you know how to be an asshole with people you can't be an asshole with, I think you can be an even bigger asshole once you get here. Darkshot, I wanted to let Darkshot jump in.
So there's like 2 points that I wanted to hit on, and one, I feel like the women that I've met and become friends with on Web3, some of them like actually are amazed that I'm like treating them like a person or just like a fellow like person in crypto, and they're like, "Oh, you don't want to like see like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be like you're not rude to me, like you're not like disgusting or whatever." And so that's like one thing that I've been kind of like blown away by. It's like, oh, like a lot of women in Web3 get these like, like it's different than us, whereas I feel like you were saying earlier, like the men to men kind of thing, there's a lot of like psyops in this space and like manipulation, and like you can be whoever you want to be. You can like make them think you're gonna sell, you're gonna make them think you're gonna buy, like make them think you're rich, make think you're poor. Like that adds to the toxicness of like you don't know what to believe like in this space. Whereas if you're in front of someone, they're not gonna hide the truth. They can't like they're right then and there. Like you can you can sense all that stuff, and it's harder to manipulate like in real life.
Facts. And always remember, like, none of this shit's real. It may feel real. I got a perfect quote from one of my relatives. He told me a long time ago. I was telling him, like, man, I got like $20,000 in crypto. What are you talking? Like, I got some money, man. Put up. I got a little bit of money put up. He tells me, until it's cash, it's not real. It's the same as a slot machine. You put $100 in, you turn it into 500. If you don't hit cash out, then it's not real. This space, it's not real. But it teaches you things. It can play psychological mind games with you. And then you get into the real world and everything kind of seems a little bit more fake, because you got to imagine that the people I talk to in this space, they have IRL lives. They're outside. They're living what they're saying on the inside. Like, I've heard people say things in this space that I know they wouldn't say outside of this space. I'm a part, like I always like to say, if you want to be the voice of the Degens, you got to dwell in some bad places as well as some good places. You got to know the bad guys, know your enemy, know your friends, know who's serious and who's just here to pass time. Because there's a lot of people, because before there was ever a bull run, some of these people were still here doing what they do, which was just pastime, trying to figure out what the next big thing was going to be. Hell, if it wasn't for crypto, half of you motherfuckers would be scamming credit cards. I truly believe that. But don't like, the best thing you can do with toxic people in this space, don't leave the groups. Block the people. One thing that I had a hell of a year last year working in Web3. And I let one or two people talk me out of what I know is my successful route to try something a different way. And it didn't work out the way they thought it might have worked out, but they convinced me that it could work. So, of course, I tried it. Then when it doesn't work, I got to deal with people who want to talk crazy when I tell them, like, you were wrong. But instead of, like, getting mad, I just don't listen to their advice anymore. Because some people in this space just don't want to see you doing better than them. I don't want to call out any names, but there's someone that I'm sure we all know who was a know-it-all.
Rick Stoner.
Damn. That was cold.
Can I add one more thing? How you deal with toxic people? Just always be true to yourself and your own morals. and stick with that no matter what.
Don't get out of character, in other words.
Yes.
Know your true self. No, I can dig that. We had a guy, Bandy Shoot. Go ahead, get up in there.
No, I just wanted to add into the toxic thing, and not just in the space, but my life too. You know what I mean? Like my dad. You know, I mean, a parent. Fucking, my mom died and just kind of broke the family apart. She's the glue that hold it all together. You know, and afterwards, me and my dad kind of fell apart and had a bunch of toxic problems and everything, and it was just best for my kids and him and everybody around us just to kind of just not talk and everything. I mean, it's no problem just to not talk to somebody and let it go for a while. We all have problems going on in that moment, get caught up in the moment, think this is the right choice when it's not, or whatever. I mean,
I can definitely dig it.
Well, to add to what
Go ahead,
said,
get us your last word, Zach.
I was going to say that to hit on what Roller Girl had said is be true to yourself. And I look at a couple things. Like, I've gotten frustrated, definitely. I'm a human. But it's my choice to be a good person every day. It's my choice to do that. I wake up and I try to do better about myself and those around me each day. Those are the things that if you really want to get rid of toxicity, just be a better version of yourself every day and reflect on, instead of pointing a finger, just remember that, it takes two to tango type of deal. Same way as relationships. Like I'm proactive about most situations in my life. And like I said, I choose to be a good person. I have my off days, but I've got 3 kids and another one on the way. I got to lead by example. I don't want to raise shit kids. It takes a community and a village, and it's important for the groups you're in. People LARP all day, right? They pretend they're something that they're not. Well, if you just behave like a normal person, or just, I didn't even say that, just, we all know the difference between right and wrong, at least most of us do. So, to make that choice to be good and happy, it's not easy. It's the same thing as everything in life. Nothing easy ever comes smoothly. So, make a choice. And the choice is always yours. You can walk away from a situation. You can stand up for yourself. You can make an ass of yourself, and you can stick up for other people. But it's up to the community there to help out with that. Like, I have no problem telling somebody's kids that they're loud and obnoxious. And most of the time, the parents like, thank you so much for saying something. I didn't want to go to jail for yelling at my own children. Well, you know what? It's important. Wake up, try to do better every day. That's all you can do. I'm going to take it day by day.
Well said, Zach. We killed another topic. And I hope we all learned something, because I'm going to listen back and find out what's really going on. We'll be back after a short music break. Once again, you checking out Voice of the Degens. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru. Little song break. Give us a couple minutes and we're right back. I had to jump back in there real quick. I seen Sponge had his hand up. Go ahead and get yours off real quick, Sponge.
Yo, my bad. I appreciate this. Okay. I just wanted to hop in real quick and let everyone know that we're probably approaching the bottom of Pulse Chain real soon. I also wanted to come on here because I haven't been on the Voice of the Degens yet. I'm super fucking busy right now. I just wanted to hop in really quickly before I had to go, just to say hi to Ricky, hi to everybody else, and also give you probably the first signal that you heard from me on here. Pulse Chain and Hex and everything in that ecosystem is probably going to bottom soon, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for liquidity flowing into the market once this Fed order gets signed off. And yeah, I'll be back on this podcast for the next show, and get ready for this to be one of the best fucking podcasts to come out in the next cycle. That's all I got to say.
Well said, my man Sponge.
I'm big lit. Fuck 12. Big lit. Blah, 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 blah. We talk. This shit blah 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 blah. Y'all forget to sing it. It's that la 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 la. It's that la 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 la. It's that la 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 la. Donatello on these niggas, ho, I'm radical. Running up a bag for a lateral. Bitch, get off my line with all that attitude. Bitch, I'm on some shit, I gotta be tactical. On God, I just came back from London. AR off in my luggage, big smoke up in my Dutchie. Dump pussy without a bungee, free fall off in your woman. Real life, ho, I get money. Trap house look like Jumanji. Okay. Real life, ho, I get money. Trap house look like Jumanji. I just came back from London. AR off in my luggage, big smoke up in my Dutchie. Dump pussy without a bungee, free fall off in your woman. Okay. Real life, ho, I get money. Trap house look like Jumanji. Real life. On God. Rhyme with my buddy, got a 30 on it. Play with your kids, now my money, homie. I used to beg for sin, now I'm money hungry. I'm savage beast, I got the beast. I play the boy Monopoly. Gang, 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 no stopping me. Trap like still a philosophy. Yo, trap like a loss to me. No cap with these niggas. Bitch, smack me a nigga. Big stacks on the nigga. Like, what would you figure? I bought me a Tommy. It came with a nigga. It's gon' shoot from the hip. Tryna burn me a nigga. Now post on his grave. Go fuck me a nigga. I don't post guns with niggas. Run through them niggas. You know I stick with a knife in case I bang me a nigga and leave him wet like a river. Vanessa the dipper. Don't think that you slicker. Got a tongue like it's silver. My message delivered.
In my city, we split up. I just about to transform. Now it's time to transform. Who's better and some? Kyrie and one. My grandma think I'm handsome. You know I'm that one.
Donatello on these niggas, oh, I'm radical. Running up a bag for a lateral. Bitch, get off my line with all that attitude. Bitch, I'm on some shit, I gotta be tactical. I just came back from London, AR off in my mother, just smoke up in my dirty jump pussy without a money, free wall off in your woman. Real life, ho, I get money, trap house look like you money. Okay. Real life, ho, I get money, trap house look like you money. I just came back from London, AR off in my luggage, big smoke up in my Dutchie, jump pussy without a bungee, free fall off in your woman. Okay. Into the matrix, pop a pill, no prescription, pop a seal. Got me leaning in the field with 300 on the dash, bending corners down the hill. Close my eyes as if it's real, screaming Jesus, take the wheel. Miyagi with this drip, watch me wax off. If it ain't about no bag, you should back off. Show the bitch the game, she still fagged off. You ain't about no hoe, use a jack off. Stupid. Miyagi with this drip, watch me wax off. If it ain't about no bag, you should back off. Show the bitch the game, she still fagged off. You ain't about no hoe, use a jack off.
Hey, I'm big lit. Hey, fuck 12 and big lit. Hey, it's that la 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 la.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Degens. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru. No echo, right? We good? Way better. Okay. I just shouting out everybody in here. Roller Girl, Face, Spring is Dead, Taz, Bandy Shoot, Mark in the building. Coco just popped in, JDB Portal. You know what time it is. Getting into topic 3. As I was saying, I wanted to invite everyone. I know you guys all know some musicians, and a lot of them may even be in Web3. And Voice of the Degens and in partnership with True World and maybe someone else very soon. That's hush hush, but we're welcoming that music break music. We want to hear the hottest shit in Web3. We want you to bring it our way. We want to showcase it. We want to promote it. We want to put it into the world. Make sure to DM me at RickeyTru. We do Telegram over here. I don't really do too much else. You might see the Voice of the Degens on Instagram, TikTok. But if you really want to get to us fast, just hit us on Telegram. So topic 3, overcoming imposter syndrome in the music industry. Well, with the way that AI is working right now, there's a lot of imposter shit going on. I won't say that it hasn't been going on for the last 10 years because it has. Before AI, all the music started becoming the same. It started sounding the same, and now it's so hard to find originality. And I'm, for one, tired of it. I want to tell all the musicians out there, man, be yourself. Nothing else. Just be yourself. There are so many people who are looking for new sounding music. And what's newer than you? Ask yourself this when you're writing your music. Are you being true to yourself? You're real. In 30 years, will you want to listen to this and say that's exactly who I was when I wrote that? And I still feel the same today. And yes, we all change. But when you're truly you, there's not much that really changes. I challenge young artists. I challenge older artists. I challenge people to find the next genre. For me, it was a play off of rap, but it was like, yo, we're gonna rap about DJ shit. We're gonna rap about Jeets getting wrecked and paper hands get swallowed and settlers get washed out. Like, I like to talk about that kind of stuff because that's truly me. And lo and behold, I made a whole career out of it in Web3. So, how do you overcome imposter syndrome? First off, you gotta like turn off your radio. You gotta turn off your music. You gotta turn off everything that you got going on that's influencing you in ways. You have to get back to yourself. We're not even ourselves anymore as musicians anymore because we're listening to other people and we're emulating what they probably don't even really live. I could go on and count artist after artist, but I won't. That just isn't making music about their real life, their reality. And what good is music if there's no wisdom in it? Tell me you in love another time, but no, tell me how you fell in love. Tell me the situation. Tell me how it all played out. If it wasn't a good story, tell me how it all played out. Tell me what I should watch out for to not go through that. And be 100% yourself. And it seems so hard for musicians today. And I don't blame them. Everybody's chasing money. You guys are chasing money. But when will you figure out that the music industry is not a gate-kept situation anymore? I watch guys like Lil Russell. That'll give me some viral action. I watched a guy named Lil Russell sell 4,000 copies before it was even out. And I think he was selling them for $25 or something to that effect. And he made everything he was looking for in it. That means he wanted to make $10,000. He didn't need more than that. That's more than some of these people get when they get to the record label. When they go platinum and the record label sends them an invoice and says you owe us money. Yeah, you recorded it yourself. Yeah, you did all of these things. So, you owe us money. Damn, I thought y'all made $10 million on it. We did. You still owe us money. That's the name of the game today. And if you're still playing for that team, that's why you haven't had a breakout yet. That's about as cut and dry as I can be about it. That's why you haven't got to where you're trying to get to yet. That's why you haven't reached the plateaus. And you sound like every other person on the radio. You sound like every other person on YouTube. You sound like every other person on TikTok. They actually consider that a genre of music now, TikTok music. Like, people make music, but at least they're being original. Their songs are like 35 seconds long. They get hundreds of millions of streams and they get that little ass check they send. And you think they think they're doing something, but they are doing something. It's more than what you're doing. And what are you doing? You're watching them, trying to emulate what they're doing. Stop being an imposter. Stop going with the flow of things. Until you break the flow of things, you're never going to break out. And I tell you this much, you might not think much of the Voice of the Degens podcast today. You might not think much of it. But to me, this is a great gateway for you to hear real feedback, for you to get real eyes on your music, and who knows, you can follow in my footsteps. What are my footsteps? What did you do, Ricky? And I sold 60 songs last year to projects from all over the place. I didn't have a big backing. I didn't have a lot of people who were getting behind it, the streams, the fans, or none of that. And I was able to make a living making music. So I say to you all, if you're a musician and you happen to check out the Voice of the Degens podcast and you said, hey, what he was saying was real and I'd like to see if I can get my music there, shoot me a DM. But please don't send me something that sounds like everything else in the world. If I wanted that, I go in my car and I turn on the radio. Stay uniquely you. It's foolproof. I'll be back in a second. We got topic 4. Overcoming the fear of failure in creative pursuits. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru. You're listening to the Voice of the Degens. We'll be back in the 2 shakes of a leg.
Zoom. I like to fly away. Get away. Zoom, zoom.
Cause I do.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. I like to fly away. I'm a nigga, make a bounce to this. It's the type of track you gotta smoke an ounce to it. We vibing, we moving. 2-stepping, we jiving, we grooving. I wanna see you working, swerving. My name is C, got me swerving. My gang tight as a virgin. You look good on the internet, but even in person. Lock the doors, close the curtains, and move your body to the melody. Dress to kill, don't catch a felony. Cat calling in my ear straight telling me, let's take a trip somewhere down south. Got my bags back like a tree, let's leave like a tie, let's roll. Let's take a trip somewhere down south. Got my bags back like a tree, let's leave like a tie, let's roll. Let's get away, mix it up, twist it up, live it up, let's get away. Mix it up, twist it up, live it up, let's get away. Mix it up, twist it up, live it up, it's time to get away. I need to get away. Let's get away, mix it up, twist it up, live it up, let's get away. Mix it up, twist it up, live it up, let's get away. Mix it up, twist it up, live it up, it's about to get away. I need to get away. Let's take a trip. Somewhere down south. Got my bags back. Like a tree, let's leave. Like a tide, let's roll. Somewhere down south.
Back at it. Like a mother crack addict. Voice of the Degens. RickeyTru, the host. And a whole slew of Degens in the building. We're going into topic 4. Weighing on our back end of this episode. About 40 minutes left. Make sure you check out the token. Grab you a 0.01 BNB. You know, I look at beans now like dollars. So I'm just trying to make me like $100. You know what I'm saying? And I think when they say 0.01 BNB, I just look at it like pennies. So I'll tell everybody around me like, man, you look at a penny, it's still worth a penny. Penny's worth like $3 to me, man. And I just think you should throw your pennies at it. Overcoming the fear of failure in creative pursuits. That's the topic at hand. Let's dive right in. I'll start it off. It's a cold game when you're creative. When you're somebody who is always looking to create a system of some sort, or or bring an idea to life, and people around you don't quite support. They don't get behind you. And that can lead to you like feeling like you're not good enough, or you can't get over the hump. A lot of times we have these great ideas, but it's like it's way more manpower than just my brain. I'm gonna need, like 10 sets of hands to bring this idea to fruition. And that creates this fear. Then you might find people who might want to help, but you don't really want their help because their help comes with something different than what your original idea is. And that also can cause fear. And both of them cause a fear of failure. You think you're not good enough, but you know that you're good enough. You just want to do it your way, and the support you have doesn't quite see it your way. And I think it's unfair to ask anybody to balance that. Like, if someone wants to help and get you further in your pursuits of greatness, I think a lot of times you gotta try your way fully first. I was talking earlier about how someone asked me my whole business model, they kind of asked me to switch it. And it just doesn't work for me. But in that time, I've had this fear of failing at what I had been growing so long. So my advice I give is like, you have to see your idea all the way through, no matter what it is you're doing, because nobody's brain their brain's trying to react to the idea, and your brain is acting on the idea. I'd like to drag Timmy into the conversation if he'll be so good to talk to me. Hey Timmy, considering how we drop these projects, man, as devs, and we all think we're doing something different, and we want to make something that hasn't been made yet. But to do that, you need a team, and the team may not see it your way. But more so than anything, I want to get your opinion on how do you overcome that fear of failure when you're doing what you're doing in this space in Web3? Because we've seen a lot of guys fall off.
Oh, bro, all the time. I think I'm down to like my last 2 or 3 people in the space that I started here with. Honestly, I mean, you either have the drive to know you're going to be successful in this space and you have the willingness to keep losing the money that you're going to lose before you can learn enough to be successful in this space. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you shit, man, I probably lost 30 grand last month, so am I gonna quit, go back to a full-time day job and be like, well, fuck it, lost half my life savings? No, I'm just gonna keep on pushing. I'm gonna keep going. Fuck it.
Does that after seeing all those guys fall off, you say you're down to your last 3 people, do you still have this fear of failure?
No, I think people in this space are a lot like contracts in this space, man. Good ones come and go, bad ones come and go. You just kind of got to figure out, who you're going to vibe with in this space. Because if there's one thing I have learned, it's that you can't be solo, and you can't do this independently and be successful as a lot of these. Not even devs, but just these investors, these guys who know when to invest, how much to invest, how long to hold. There's so many factors in this space. You can't just walk in and be like, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to make $1 million this year. Well, before you do that, you got to probably, lose quite a bit before you learn how you can make it.
Right.
And as far as the people go, man, the people come and go all the time. That's nothing new, man. Like, I mean, Ricky, I've been in this space with you for a hot minute. I mean, not the entire time I've been in this space, but I've known you in this space for a hot minute. Man, I know a lot of really successful devs, who aren't in this space anymore. We're talking guys who made millions of dollars and just blew it, poor investing, whatever they did, and they just, they never got back on the horse and tried again. They all just went back to their day jobs.
It's a scary thought, which I went back to a day job, right? I said, if the market isn't being 100% like receptive to what I got going on, then I have to find my means to still stay around, but do what I really like, what I came here to do. My fear of failure isn't as big as it was when I first started. I always thought I wouldn't have lasted 6 months in Web3. And look at me now, I'm still here.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just fell into this space and just kind of fell in love with it. I didn't really have like a timeline, At the time I had my full-time job, so I was just kind of, hanging out, doing my thing, meeting people, learning everything I needed to learn before I could make it full-time.
And I remember you, like even you were working a job because you didn't feel like you had to.
I still work. I mean, I still work part-time, because not only that, you can't sit on a computer all day long and just talk to internet people all day long, man. Like, that's when you start making poor trades, especially if you're a degen and you sit on the computer for hours on end and stare at the same chart all day long to make sure you sell the top or whatever it is you're doing. Like, it's hard. Like, I can't be invested in short term pump and dumps while I'm at work. You know, it's impossible. I'll just clear
Fact.
I'll just clear everything back down to my long term for the day because, you know, I mean 90%, 95% of everything getting deployed right now isn't lasting more than 24 hours.
What do you think caused that trend in the space?
Um, quite a few factors. The fact that I think what it was is a lot of people came in end of 2020, beginning of 2021, you know, when crypto really started pumping. And, you know, we didn't have to worry about charts dumping because for every, you know, one whale that dumped, there was 100 people that wanted his position. Now, you know, crypto's on a downtrend. We're 3x down from ATH as far as like BTC, and we're like 2.5x on Ethereum. But still, you know, before those charts, everybody flooded this space back then. You didn't have to worry about how long somebody held or if a chart was going to moon. You know, you had 100,000 degens at the top of the market. I think right now we have somewhere around like 2,500 active daily degen trading wallets right now. Where before, at the top peak of the market, we had millions. I mean, SafeMoon had like fucking 2 million holders at ATH. You know, all the big guys, Shiba, Volt, Shibnobi, Saitama, SafeMoon, Baby Cake, so many really big projects where community just came together, you know, and you don't get that anymore. You just have these devs that are okay going home with a 0.1 at the end of the day after spending all their time making websites and TGs and setting everything up.
And that's mad.
Yeah, it's hard even for legitimate devs like myself. It deters me from wanting to even deploy because at the end of the day, even though my last project I sent to what was Ricky 770K something like that. Even that, at the end of the day, even though I was a baby token and I relied on the parent token to survive in order for me to survive, I was called a scammer and everything else, even though so many people made so much money. I was called every name in the book, and you know that at the end of the day, all the good devs who do try and do everything legitimate and not farm you or anything else and put the money out of their pockets to have a decent launch, they don't want to do that anymore. Because at the end of the day, nobody's appreciative. You just get called a scammer or the team sold or all this other bullshit, you know?
Nah, I get it. Zach, my man.
Failure is always an option. I teach that to the kids I coach. I teach that to my kids. You're going to fail, and you better get good at it. Welcome to life. This space is no different. But the one thing you got to learn about failure is what you learn from it and how you get back up on your horse. Timmy, I was there with you on a couple, you know, you put all that time. I watched you put in time. I asked you what I could do. Well, I didn't have a lot to offer at the time and probably still don't, but I was there. I watched it go up, go down. You know, we're all sitting here hoping for the best, and we know it's a shot in the dark, if you will.
What
But failure
has
divorce.
been what I gotta ask, and I'll ask anybody who raises their hand. What has kept you from quitting this thing we call Degen? What stopped you from quitting?
Once a degen, always a degen. I
Yeah,
put too
once
much
you
time in. I've devoted way too much of my time. I want full time, like Timmy said. What, the beginning of 20, end of 19, right when the COVID hit. I've been full time almost since the middle of 2020. That's a lot of time to just all of a sudden quit. That's like going to college to be a doctor in crypto, and then he's like, "Ah, I'm not. I'm going to go work at a gas station." You know, I've invested too much time. I can't get that time back or that knowledge. What am I going to do with it? Go work at a gas station? Well, no. I'm here
Yeah, that
because
doesn't work.
I'm here simply because I know that this is our next level of financial whatever for everybody. We're going that way. Look at our
Righteous,
markets.
righteous.
Look at where we're at.
Talk to me, Dark Shot. Give me some insight, sir.
Well, like I've been around for a long time, but I've taken breaks here and there. But when the meme coin and like things really started to go crazy, I only started with $40, like in Shiba, and I've just been riding that wave all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, and I've always felt like I've been able to start over, even from dust, like $5. Like there's always a way in this, and I feel this is where it's kind of an even playing field. Like you can be a whale, but if you're smart, you can become a whale with like $5. And that's why I probably will never give up, you if I leave for a year, you know? So I know I can
yeah,
always start over, or I
I
can
mean,
keep money if I have money, or if I don't have any money, I can start from nothing at any time, or build something, or offer services, you know?
Well
oh yeah,
said.
there's absolutely always a way to make money in this space. Absolutely. But as far as the trading itself goes, like Darkshot said, you used to be able to just drop $40 in a token when it first launched, and like me, I got lucky with Safe Moon. Darkshot got lucky with Shiva. Um, and so either you get that luck and you have that luck, like all those early Pepe investors. If we want to talk something on the more recent side, you know, what after I would say maybe 100K market cap. Man, people were just aping blind at that. Nobody knew it was going to go to 1.7 billion in fucking 15 days. It's all luck, insider networking, knowing, it just knowing as much as you can in this space is what helps you the most at this point. Before, you used to just be able to blind ape anything and 10x in a couple hours, 100x in a day. Now it's
Well,
like,
yeah,
shit, can I get a 2.5x out of this today? Fuck.
I mean, buy anything. You used to be able to buy anything that just pops on Coinbase, anything that pops on CMC, and you're like guaranteed like to make money. But then, like the Shiba days are over of like just throwing $40 and forgetting it. But if you're starting from that little, there's launch bots, and obviously you got to do your own research and scan the project. But you know, if you have a good idea of what makes a project good even in the short term, you can like, turn a little bit of money into a lot and then just keep compounding it, and do it in like a strategic way. And it's unfortunate that it's not like how it used to be where you could just throw $40 and forget that you had a wallet. But there's still a way to do it, and I feel like there's always going to be a way um, to do it in the
Is
future.
it that we're I gotta ask, is it that we're not going to sexes to see where IDOs and ICOs and all that kind of shit are going down at? Cause I remember my first win came from something like that. Like I remember Dexa coin, which I haven't looked at in years. I'm gonna pull the scanner on that bitch today. But is there some kind of method that we're missing that we've got so deep in that we might have forgot step 0.01?
Well, I've found some coins just like from digging through like old like 900-day, like 1,000-day wallets, or like old, just like looking back into stuff or going on old coins on CMC. There's big coins that are still live on Twitter doing work. There's like they're
Yeah,
building still, using
things you might
still
have
their
dusted on, and then just forgotten about, came back to life, and now is at, multiple 100 mil market cap within a couple of years. I know a lot of tokens did that. I had that BSC NFT art spinoff token. I held it for like 2 years. It was worth dust, and out of nowhere, after 2 years, it came back to life, and I dumped it for 12 grand. It was, it's weird. You got to keep up with those types of things, though. Especially your dust, because you might have just deleted the TG, forgot about it, said fuck it, but in the background the team was working the whole time and you never saw it on any scanner, nobody brought it up, anything.
or even the team does forget about it and everybody forgets about it, and then someone finds it and you start buying and people go, oh shit, I forgot about this, and then dev wakes up that like it could even happen like that. Like I feel like anything's possible.
I can dig it. Now, to bridge over into my topic 5, because we just talked about projects who've been around for 900 days, 3 years, and just pop up out of nowhere, just back at it. It's pumping again. You didn't even look. You hadn't been in the community forever. I want to talk a little bit about building a reputation in this space. How do you create a strong reputation in this space, not only crypto, but also if we're talking NFTs, because I know that Timmy has a little information on NFTs. I'm not sure how everyone in the room moves. And for the record, NFTs, they have their own sector of what you would call a degening. They sit on scanners and they watch what NFTs are launching, and it's similar to what
Yeah,
we do.
it's same thing. It works same thing, different scanners and everything, but like that's how I ended up buying a whole bunch of killer bears for real cheap and holding them, bought them at like 0.03 a piece. I ended up selling them recently for 3 ETH a piece, that was a year and a half hold. Um, um, the best way, honestly, the best way that I have found in this space is when you get in early in a token. Lately, me building a community, figuring everything out lately, getting in early in the tokens, I have a private TG where if the token moons, I will go back to the beginning of the chat when I entered and see everybody who was in there, everybody who was most active, and I'll shoot them a DM. Hey, I got a private scan group. You want to join it? When you get all of these people in that are typically investing sub 20K market caps, and they're getting in early and they're confident in the token, 90% of the time they're an insider. They're with another network. They know what's going on. Where you could be like, man, I hope this doesn't fucking rug. Invite them. I have like 30 people and in my private group, and all we do all day long is scan contracts. And I have made more money with these people because of other tokens that mooned when I was in at low market cap.
Facts.
Because I don't know about you guys. I'm the type of investor, I would much rather risk throwing a 0.05 sub 20K at something and dusting it than throwing an ETH at 100K and losing it,
Right. Dark shot, you ain't got no shot on that?
Well, what I was gonna say to circle back to like NFTs is the lowest risk thing that I've found in crypto is free mints. Like you're actually only paying gas, and sometimes you can get up to 15 NFTs. So, you mint 5 series of 15 NFTs and you just only pay gas for those free mints. Your risk is literally only fees. And it can pay off really well. Like look at what was it? The
I
Goblin
think
Town
the
or whatever.
doodles were a free mint too, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at, okay, you're gonna risk money in shitcoin and like a meme coin or whatever, you're throwing $10 plus
Someone
gas.
asked. Someone asked in the comments. They said, "How do I find free mints?"
Well, they have like scanner
That
bots. There's one that I'm a private group, and I'm sure Timmy knows where.
yeah, there's scanner bots, but honestly, your best bet on free mints that are going to do something, because you got to remember a lot of the free mints work just like a fresh degen. Um, So you could mint 15, like you get a reduced amount on the gas you're paying, but you're still paying almost, to mint all 15. So 15 I think normally costs me like 0.06, 0.05, something around there. Um but again, those are, you got to get in before the bots. You want to get out before the bots, unless it is a networked, like the team, or because I have a whole lot of free mints. I probably have like 5 or 6 ETH worth of just gas on free
How
mints that went
how do
nowhere.
you how do you
So
figure out? My man said, he said, I hate the fact that he doesn't trust connecting his wallet to anything. What's you guys' process to that when you're living in your DGen NFT world? How do you
I I don't
maneuver in
keep
this space?
I don't keep more than what I'm using in my DGen wallet. My DGen wallet, unless I've made profits recently from something, you won't catch me with more than like a point 0.2 or a point 0.3 in my DGen wallet, because, like I said, I'm only aping like 0.05s, maybe a DCA on a token or two. I have no reason to keep any more than that on my DGen wallets. So like that will minimize your risk. Don't accept anything that you're not familiar with. 90% of the time, as long as nothing's asking you for your fucking seed phrase or anything like that, or you sell or you approve a token that was airdropped to you that you're not familiar with, you shouldn't have any problems. Back to the NFTs though, as far as, honestly, I follow so many people on Twitter. And if I have like 2 or 3 people that I follow on Twitter and they all say, hey, this free mint is minting, and we know the team and the dev, and they have the biggest thing with NFTs over tokens is, if I'm doing free mints or minting at all with NFTs, or considering purchasing an NFT, I don't just want like, a website and a Twitter. Like, you have to have your roadmap set up. Like, the NFT devs go way harder than your degen uh, devs. Like, they'll have the white paper, they'll have the roadmap, detailed roadmap. I don't mean like column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points like you see on some of these shitty ass fucking websites on these pump and dump devs are putting out. I mean like a well mapped out, detailed roadmap. Something that looks like somebody spent hours on it typing. Those are the types of things I look for when I'm going after NFTs in general. Like with the Killer Bears, they had everything mapped out, ridiculously mapped out.
I didn't quite. He asked another question, but I didn't quite catch it because it was reading across my screen. Maybe I bring him up. Maybe I bring him up and see if he asks it. Hey, Mark, did you want to throw that out there out loud?
Yeah, no problem. I was just gonna ask, like, yo, is Twitter kind of the space for NFTs then, is what you would say? Or are there some places on Telegram or groups where you can find some free mints?
So Telegram isn't the place for NFTs. You would be using more Discord than you would anything as far as the NFT space is concerned.
Fucking hate Discord.
Um, Yeah, I do too. I'm not a huge fan of it. I try to keep up more on like the tweets and stuff like that. Only if I have like a question or I'm trying to keep up, because Discord has all those stupid fucking files. You got to figure out which one's the main chat, all that shit. Um, but yeah, um, Discord, large projects, long-term investments. I'm looking for Twitter traffic to those. Um, short-term pump and dumps, I'm just on the scanner, seeing what's about to pump, really, and then I'm just trying to hop in, load up on a bunch, and dump them all for like a little over gas, basically.
Right.
But they have a bot. They have bots for that type of shit. But that's yeah,
That'll
that's
be a
more for
topic next week.
that's more experienced traders. But you have somebody in here was raising his hand. Oh, go ahead, Bandy.
Bandy, go ahead, shoot something for us.
Hey, I was just mentioning that the Telegram NFT thing. I know a couple guys that are pretty into it on Telegram. Drew, not sure if you know him just by the name, but let's see his actual name here.
Yeah, you're talking Drew with the private group and the bot that is all crazy with the tokens and shit, Drew?
Yeah, he owns a Dream Ecosystem
Yeah.
and Hell and all.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what his private group was called. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it's called like Drew's Daddy Gems or some shit. But
yeah,
those guys in there
yeah.
really heavy into NFTs. They got all the Bored Apes and Yacht Club and all those guys. They got all kinds of the big ones, and they're really big into the NFTs there. So,
well, I hope we got a lot of questions answered. I hope we got some more knowledge, more than what we had already. And the beauty is that when it hits YouTube and them, they're learning just from listening to us. And I suggest everybody make sure you join the Well Lounge. Grab you a little bag so you can talk in the background with us. We're always looking for dedicated DJs to come hang out with us in the background. I'll shoot some information for that. If not, I'm sure one of my good DJ buddies will put it in the comments because I'm seeing these comments somewhere, but they might be in the Well chat. We're gonna do one more musical break. I'm gonna let Timmy in there. Timmy, go ahead.
I'm talking. Okay, weird. My hand's still raised. Okay. If you want, for this group of guys, I have not like my private group, but I do have a secondary group where we all get together, talk. Tomorrow, my utility dev is almost finished with my utility for my upcoming launch. I will be in the chat for this group that I'm willing to give to you all at some point tomorrow. I got to discuss it with him. And we will be going over detail for detail everything for my next launch. So I'll give Ricky that information because I don't even think Ricky's in my newest group either. And then
I'll drop it in the Well.
What else? Yeah, what else? BSC, my highest is 3.5 mil, and this will be an ETH launch. My highest on ETH is my last launch, which was 770K. You can learn a lot. There's a lot of guys in this group that are also very knowledgeable, that are also willing to answer any questions that you all may have. Now, this is a scan group, so a lot of things will be scanned in this group. Do not buy it unless you know, maybe a few of my guys say they bought it. But I just want to make sure everybody is under clear understanding that the group I am giving you is a scan group where we find early CAs on safe projects when we can, but not everything that we scan in this group is safe.
And I will tell you this about nobody really knows Timmy like I know Timmy. Timmy stays up. He's not lying. He sits on his scanner in the group and he shows us him buying in. That's how you know it's real. He lets you see him buy in, what he's buying into, and he really dedicates his time to the space. I always say if I need somebody who really if I really want to make gains, I just need to chill with Timmy for a day. Not like he just gives me crazy. It just feels a lot safer dealing with him. So
Nah, you lose with me, but you'll make money with me too.
Yeah,
I
like
lose,
yeah,
you lose, we all fucking lose. I make money, you make money, we all fucking make money.
right, right. Now check it out. We about to go for a musical break, and then we'll be right back with our final notes of the night. Give me your quick crypto plays and give us some top trending news. Anybody got some good news going on right now? We'd love to hear it. But that'll be right after we come back from the musical break. I am your host, RickeyTru, and this is the voice of the Degens. Be right back.
I'm a thing that pay with respect. Yeah. True world. I done been lied to so many times they don't affect me no more. Pocket in the way and now they don't respect me no more. I try to understand it but they don't check it no more. And they'll never understand so I just let the shit go. I made a couple bands just coordinating the goals. You can tell them niggas hating and they letting you know. I'm thinking about 100 bands and I'm plotting. I'm whipping up 100 grams without the pot. That bitch hit on my line. I don't got no time. Hustle, flow, and grind. Plus I gotta get it every day and every night. I really know the struggle. I really know the hustle. I really know the muscle. I really know. I am the muscle. But I can't trust myself, so you know I can trust you. But I'ma make you love it. They wanna see me down. I be riding around. I ain't hiding out. I be out and about. In and out of town. We not allowed. Might cop a pound, might burn it down. Ooh, money first, no discussion. They don't understand you when you working. I'm just out here trying to find my purpose. I know life ain't perfect, but it's worth it. I made a couple bands just coordinating the goals. You can tell them niggas hating and they letting you know. I'm thinking about 100 bands and I'm plotting. I'm whipping up 100 grams without the pot. That bitch hit on my line. I don't got no time. Hustle, flow, and grind. Plus I gotta get it every day and every night. I really know the struggle. I really know the hustle. I really know the muscle. I really know. I am the muscle. But I can't trust myself, so you know I can trust you. But I'ma make you love it.
Keys, phone, wallet, check. Catch you later, got a jet. Catching plays, politics. Hitting corners, hot as shit. Praying that I make it back. Never want to play with straps. Parking lot exchanges with strangers get dangerous. Out of town in rentals, you know the incidentals. Can't tell you all the stresses that be running through my mental. I'm blowing on some gas and calculating cash. How long is this gonna last? Damn, I've been moving fast.
That bitch hit on my line. I don't got no time. Hustle, flow, and grind. Plus I gotta get it every day and every night. I really know the struggle. I really know the hustle. I really know the muscle. I really know. Cause I am the muscle. But I can't trust myself, so you know I can trust you. But I'ma make you love it. TT3TOL2 coming soon.
Let it take control. They try to take your soul. Many days that we live never seen before. Burning down buildings, police keep shooting. Coronavirus took the toll, they got us looting. What are we saluting? You're gonna reach your judgment. Idolizing false gods that stand for nothing. Gotta give for 'em. Watch out for martial law. It's a destruction, it's headed to your front door. We've been through too much, this world so fucked up. No more shackles and chains, they got us fucked up. Now we undefeated, they power been deleted. We the head, they the tail, and no they don't believe it. 400 years strong, been hurting my people. And lie straight to your face, tell us we equal. But it ain't no equal, it only cause more violence. Put your knee on my neck, moment of silence.
I did this record just to, breathe
Back at it.
positivity, life to the art.
Final notes of the night.
Fuck with me.
Voice of the Degens. It's been a wonderful episode. Thank you to Timmy. Thank you to Dark Shot, Bandy Shoot, Zay Killer, Face, Spring is Dead, Azam, Roller Girl, Mr. Mark, Sponge, and anybody else who popped in that I might have missed. Anybody got some good news for us first? Any not even good news. Any news? Like in crypto, I just heard somebody that I heard about the crypto X guy, not our guy, but that guy. Some head project, some big crypto service. And he was found with a bullet in his head, I believe. I don't know if anybody else heard about that. Saw it on Watcher Guru. Um, no new news in the space. Nothing in the space. How about any new projects? Any projects we got to keep our eyes on? Roller Girl, she was fast on the draw. Hey, Roller Girl.
Hey, there's an interesting one I am keeping my eye on. Everybody do your own research, of course, but it's called Twitter Coin, and the deployer wallet has over 700 ETH in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's a lot. If you go to their TG and read all the breadcrumbs, it's pretty interesting, and it has a really solid floor. So if somebody,
What's the MC right now?
it's 352,000 market cap.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds solid. Timmy's jumping in. Timmy, jump in there.
Let's see. I just scooped some OH not too long ago, but I got in at like 15K. Chart's looking pretty bullish. It's Ethereum. We're sitting at 139K with 163K ATH. They're calling it the first Japanese mover. It's going to be they're calling it the fastest swap. Their website and their swap's not even live yet, and it's already at, it's already holding 140K floor.
Make sure that you and Roller Girl, make sure y'all drop that in the comments. And leave a comment section on the We Live.
Actually, I actually got off work early today because a bunch of shit was mooning. I actually made a decent amount of money today on quite a few things.
Anything still alive?
Well, I got into Shenron yesterday at 13K. I sold today at 150K. It's still going. It wrecked me. And then today I got into Kinja, which everybody was, the LARP was, it was the Shinja dev. It's cat version of Shibnobi. I made like 9x on that. Kinja, yeah, they're back at 86K. But I got in there like 9K. And I cheated like 95K, like ATH.
You on the debt before you honeypotted.
Yeah, dude on the debt before he honeypotted. Yeah.
That's an inside joke. That's some good lyrics. Hey, Rick Stoner, it's funny to see you here. Somebody shouted you out earlier. Good to see you here, brother. Anybody else got any hot shit? I'm surprised Darkshot ain't with Darkshot got Darkshot calls all in his name and he don't have shit to say. Yeah, I'm gonna take Bandy. I'm gonna wait on Darkshot. I see your hand now, but no, Bandy beat you to it, brother. Talk to me, Bandy.
Beat him to the punch. No, I just wanted to talk about Sylvester a little bit. It's my project. Launched it a little over 2 weeks ago. I'm the bot dev on it. I make all the bot updates on it and everything. That's our main utility right now. Does all kinds of cool features, like Command Max will tell you the live price of a max bag, and Shill will give you a random Shill template with the information rather than it just being the same one every time. I got all kinds of stuff planned for it. Our next utility bot is the music bot. It's hopefully being the Yuki killer, because we all hate that bot with all its spam and bullshit. Can't really use it in our group because it's always spamming other projects. So hopefully we're going to be the killer to that. Got all kinds of stuff planned for it, though, more than just that. Highly recommend coming checking us out. Always buy bonuses going on, too.
Definitely. And I support that. Bandy has been a member of the Voice of the Degens for quite some time before we even had the podcast. and hell of a dev. He puts us up on new scanners all the time, and the scanner we're running in our whale group right now is so fucking plush. It's so plush. I didn't even scan my own contract on it. Like, it's just extra plush. But we scanned a couple of things and everything looked good. Gives you a lot of good information on it. Even tells you the taxes and where money's being moved. It's kind of like more text of what's it called? Not Moonarch. Bubble maps. It's just like which RickStoner.com put me up on a long time ago. So shout out Rick for that. Dark Shot. What you got for me, sir?
So I don't have anything really to shill, but I'm just looking forward to having more time to accumulate, and I don't want to rush any crazy type of market, to be completely honest. And I don't know if that's just me, but I have so much that I don't even want to talk to people or shill about, like, because I'm just afraid that I'll miss entries on stuff when things do keep going. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm
No
at
doubt.
right now, where, like, if you've heard Warren Buffett say certain things, like, why would you tell other people what you want, and why wouldn't you want things that you really want to go down? So, you know, because it gives you a better entry point and, like, a better price. And if you really want, you know, a coin or something that you think is going to be around and be a force for a while,
Right.
that's what I'm looking for, and, like, what
Right.
I've been doing lately, and, like, playing here and there, you know, because I'm always a degen at heart. So
I'm a DJ and you know we popping out at every project. Rick Stoner, you want to throw some in there? You got to play for us, or you just coming to say what's up?
I was rolling a joint first, right? Thank you.
Sheesh.
Shout out a couple times there. Appreciate that. How are you doing, Ricky?
I'm doing okay, sir.
I look at this, looks like good evolution here.
Yeah, man.
I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased.
I hope to see you on the next episode, sir.
Well, in between studies and seeing your prompts, I definitely wouldn't mind popping in and be a guest. My sentiment's a lot different than most, though, right? You know,
Righteous. And that's what you hear. That's what we all here for. We want to hear something different. We tired of the same old, same old.
Oh, I bet something big's coming, guys. Like, I don't know why I know this date. In 8 days from now, something big's gonna go on. It's like either government's trying to print shit coins right now, right?
Yeah,
Rick,
I've
I did
noticed.
not
I've
mean to
noticed
mute you
that.
on that. I did not mean to mute you on that, Rick. I was trying to mute myself and muted you, Rick. Go ahead. You said the government's printing shit coins.
But they are. You're right, and they're gonna get rejected. Does anybody disagree with that? Like, we're gonna reject the shit out of that. Who wants a shit coin from government? Doesn't make sense.
And they taking Cash App's ID and Fed now, taking just the whole instant money. I just am afraid of. I'm not even gonna say the name because I know that everything gets captioned on YouTube. But yeah.
Well, did you
very good
hear
about
USA's about to print money?
Yeah.
You guys are about to print money again. Yeah, like this is all going to happen again. You have to print money because you need quantitative easement. Like your economy's in trouble. Gold's flying. There's countries dropping the U.S. dollar standard left, right, and center right now. There's something big's going on. Like we're I don't know. We're destabilizing our whole world. Kind of, I don't know. Nobody knows what's monetary value anymore, right? They're all confused because they all screwed up and they didn't buy Bitcoin early. And that's why I believe they're coming out with shitcoins, because they're going to try and steal liquidity from all of us by sucking in the Bitcoin, by giving us their shitcoin that's valueless. And then they're going to go back and acquire Bitcoin, which
Well
could
said.
make Bitcoin
Well said,
extremely
Mr.
fly in
Stoner.
price, right? Like we're talking crazy amount of money Bitcoin might go to. It's nuts what's going on.
I hope
I
it
just wish
does.
that the
I'm
people,
ready.
well, yeah, but we are, but the people who aren't ready for this, man, it's going to really hurt people. Like there's going to be a lot of ups and downs to all this. I just hope in the end we get like world economic transparency, you know, People need to know when money's being
Righteous.
spent on wars, on diseases, on environmental efforts, nuclear weapons, everything. We don't know that right now. We go to U.S. Congress and ask them how much they spent on a pen, and they'll say $8 billion, and we'll find out that pen is a nuclear weapon, not a pen. This is the
At
problem.
all. Right.
Yeah. Now,
Thanks for
there's
the
just so much
insight.
misappropriation with money right now. I think that, well, the insight is AI. That shit's gonna straighten things out. Something
20
weird's
million
going on.
jobs just got lost, they said already. I just read that somewhere today. AI took it. That's a story for another day.
Every medium medium level management job is getting canned right now. Hardcore, man. They're all losing. We're having a work evolution on top of a money evolution on top. It's so disruptive. That's Bitcoin doing this. It's like telling the government, you guys, your paper money ain't worth shit anymore. And after COVID and everybody seeing that, people probably desire NFT, one of those apes, more than they desire having money now. That might actually be real. It's a weird sentiment, isn't it?
Facts. Zach Killer, give me your last thought, sir, before I close this on out with my final thought.
Well, with the host with the most, you have RickeyTru, a voice of the Degens. Always here on Sundays and sometimes Wednesdays. My only last words are, I've been around here for a while. I've been here long enough. I've been in the real world. I've got my own business. I think Rick is right. I think we're going to see something. I don't know about 12 days. He's got a lot more insight there, but the lasting words are stay in touch. Don't forget to watch the news and read between the lines. Not everything you see is real. Not everything you read is for certain. If you pick up Encyclopedia Britannica, I think you could probably put your thumb down that that's some real stuff. But then again, do we really know that? Printed in 1958, those versions are different. Things change. There's species in the Amazon we don't even know about yet. I don't want to know that the Amazon was a farm. That's crazy.
I can dig it. So, as I exit on out of here, thank you to everyone. Zach, Timmy, Darkshot, Roller Girl, Rick Stoner, Face, Spring is Dead, Azam, Mark, and all the rest of the good people who have blessed us with our time and just participation today. It's one of the doper episodes. I can't wait to get it done. Should be up by Tuesday. My final thoughts on today. We talked a lot about Web3 and bottoms and tops today. And I just want to leave a thought that what if this is the bottom? I can't ask you that with a conscious mind and ask you, is this the top? I can't. But I can definitely ask you, is this the bottom? We talked a lot about, just getting over fear of failure. We talked a lot about how toxic it is in this space and how we maneuver through it and how we overcome those fears. I want everyone to take this note away from the podcast that we don't have all the answers, but we can come up with the correct answers together. So as Zach said, let's stay in touch, not just with each other, but the world. We want to be able to bring back the information we pick up all week. We want to be able to bring that back to the good guys. And who are the good guys? That's the VOTD Army. We want to share the news. We want to share the hot topics. We don't want to leave anyone out in this space. And the only way to keep growing on that is to stay in touch. Everyone here is more than welcome today to come join the Whale Lounge. We really don't discriminate. We'd like for everybody to be a holder of the token, but there are people in there who don't hold the token. because they're so valuable to the space. And all of you are valuable to the space. It takes nothing but a DM to get my attention, and your best way of getting, you probably got a better chance of reaching me on Telegram than calling my home phone. I just want to leave everybody with the thought that we got to stick together. We have a mission. We're primed. Rick says 8 days. Zach says 12. We'll be back here in 7. Let's talk about it. Let's get prepared for something bigger. Keep your eyes out for the Elemental movie. I definitely want to have a conversation about it when it drops. I think that's next week too. It's been wonderful. It's been real. But we got to go. Thank you for tuning in to the Voice of the Degens. I'm your host with the most, RickeyTru, and we're out of here.
We on the beat, I bet it's a classic.
Straight Degen. Degen shit only, that's all I know. I eat, sleep, and shit this.
My nigga Delta in the pots.
I'm a Degen and you know we popping out at every project. Still printing, we ain't worried about no bear market. I just ape shit, never lay shit. Check my playlist, Voice of the Degens, but this time I'm going hard. 750 for the song is where I started. Nowadays I want 7 1/4. And nothing less than 10 E for the performance. And I might cheat out on your project while I'm performing. Boy, fuck your project, fuck your CA, fuck your TA. Boy, I'm the judge and I'm the jury and the DA. Plus I got clout, plus my rep, and I'm really based. And they mad cause I'm bullish and they really ain't. But I think it's about time for a VC raise. Yeah, I think it's about time for a VC raise. I'm a DJ and I'm on TG VCs every day. And they mad cause I'm bullish and they really ain't. Multi-wallet sniper buys, yeah, I'm lit. Yeah, only thing I'm thinking about is rich. How I get it, how I did it, how it does it. You gotta love it. But fuck your scammer, Dev, he know my ENS. Yeah, he better act like he know me, I'm about to cheat. Try to catch a check and I'ma summons crypto away. And he gon' do what he do best, but that is not me. He's there sloppily, don't play properly. 2 heads better than 1, guess they sign me. Oh, they don't like me, okay, find me. Yeah, try me, I ain't hiding. But I think it's about time for a VC raise. Yeah, I think it's about time for a VC raise. I'm a DJ and I'm on TG VCs every day. And they mad cause I'm bullish and they really ain't.